On this episode of Beer, Blues, and BS, Kidder and I got a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking about whiskey fungus, of all things. I mean, who knew we'd ever talk about that? We also spent a lot of time on wrestling because there's the whole Wrestling Observer Awards of 2022 to dive into and see if we agree with their picks on that. And somebody here has been having a bad time with some food. Who? You're going to have to wait. You're going to have to find out. But don't worry, you're in a good place. Welcome to the show.
It's Howard Blues and V-Mark Kidder. Pour a cold beverage, pull up a seat, enjoy time with friends.
Triple B! Well, the Triple B sucks. Okay? Come on.
Whatever, man. This is Beer, Blues, and BS. Online at beerbluesbs.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS, the podcast where one of the hosts is a menace to food. I'm your host, Howard Blues, here, as always, with my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the Mark Kidder. Kidder, how you doing tonight?
Well, Howie Blues, Jaco, my brother. I'm better now that we've started this. Hopefully not coming to you from the surface of a potato, but we're here, and you know what? Maybe by the end of the episode, we'll drink enough alcohol to just make it that way. So, I mean, that's just how it goes. How about yourself?
Well, Kidder, I know that the catchphrase is I'm supposed to say it's been a week, but it has definitely been a week. Everything from the snowstorm in the middle of the week to Kidder, I've had the worst luck with food in the last 2 days.
So you're the menace.
I'm the menace. I will fess up. I'm the menace. I'm the problem. I'm the issue. It all started yesterday. So due to the snowstorm, I didn't go to work on Wednesday. I took my annual leave. I said, screw this. I'm staying home. So I did. And I wasn't the only one. There was a good chunk of our office that didn't come in. And we had a new member of our education team starting. And so my supervisor, it was also her birthday. So she brought in a cake. But there was nobody to eat the cake. So on Thursday morning, she gave us the assignment. She's like, you guys all have to eat some cake. Kidder, you know me. I don't eat cake. The last time I had cake was at my wedding. So I don't do cake.
Cake or death.
Yeah, I choose death. So we had a cake break. And I didn't partake, but I at least was there. I was being communicative. I was, being social, welcoming our new team member. And at the end of it, I was like, okay, this has been great. I will help out. I'm not doing any of the dishes because I didn't eat any of the cake, but I can put the cake in the fridge. And as I open the fridge with one hand, I go to put the cake in the tin and the lid in. The lid pops off, the cake falls, half the cake goes into the fridge and onto the floor, and I got to clean up cake off the floor, Kidder. Which was bad because I had made this whole thing as everybody was sitting there like, oh, you're not having cake? I don't eat cake. Now I have a reputation. I'm the guy that hates cake so much. Apparently I ruin cake for everyone. So...
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Fitting.
So fast forward to tonight, Kidder. As you know, tonight we were celebrating Junior's birthday because we're supposed to have more winter weather coming in, and didn't want to have to try to explain to a 3-year-old why nobody could show up for his birthday party. So we're like, we'll move it, and we decided this last minute. We're trying to make it work. So Kidder, I'm cooking some pizzas. And I go to take the first pizza out of the oven to do the old bubble check. We're doing the old Papa Murphy's. I have a lovely cowboy pizza ready to go. It's been cooking, and and such. I go to take it out of the oven, and I don't know what happens, kidder. I kid you not. As I go to take it out, it slips right out of my hands and falls toppings down right on the oven door. There were obscenities issued. Luckily, the kids were up getting like last minute diaper changes and outfit changes, so they were ready for the party, so they did not hear me swearing as I had to like get the crust and the pan back off and then like use a scraper to quickly scrape the pizza toppings, which were already cooking, into the door as I went.
You're just a menace to society. You're not just a menace to food. This is why we can't have nice things.
Man, I'm telling you, kidder, it's been a week.
Hey, at least those toppings were well done.
Yeah, they were nicely cooked. I may have snacked on a couple because I was hungry.
Hangry, probably.
Little bit annoyed. It's like, damn it. Luckily, we'd bought enough pizza, so I made the other 2 pizzas, and we were fine. We still have some leftovers, but I hate to be wasteful. And I wasn't even thinking quickly enough, kidder, because the crust was still probably a bit pliable. I probably could have thrown all the toppings back in, folded it over, made a nice calzone.
Yeah, would have been good.
It would have been excellent, but I didn't.
No calzone for you.
No calzone for me. No, just shame. And then, of course, I didn't even get a chance to like toss that in the bin before everybody showed up. So everybody who did make it to the party got to laugh at my failure.
Hey, what's that? Don't eat it. What happened?
Yeah. Luckily, my dad was at least probably actually the most supportive. He's like, you could have spread the toppings back around and served it to us. We wouldn't have known. It's pizza.
Yep.
Thanks, Dad.
I think he was inside the oven. It didn't fall on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was just happy that I bought good beer. For the party. And by good beer, I mean, it was just Land Shark. So it wasn't anything like super special, but like he's now retired. So, he's on a limited income. So of course he had to complain to me about the price of his, old Milwaukee Best going up, his hams is now like $30 for a 24 pack. It's,
maybe he should shop sales and be more selective when and where he buys.
Well, I did make a suggestion here. Hot tip for you, kidder. Hot tip. And for anybody listening in the Bismarck Van Ed area, hey, if you remember a couple episodes back, I had that trail mix beer. I've been in 2 liquor stores this week, kidder. Both of them had 12 packs of that on sale for like $9.98. You got a 12-pack of Shiner Trail Mix.
But why?
Because you're desperate. I offered
you might
it
as well drink rubbing alcohol at that point.
Well, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, it's just kind of weird because it's liquid trail mix. But my dad wasn't a taker for that, so he did make me an interesting offer. He said that if I buy any beer that I like have the one and I can't finish, he will buy the rest of the beer off me for 50 cents a can.
Rip off.
I mean, this is my dad, Joke's on him. I buy beer one at a time.
Such a low baller.
Yeah.
Just disappointing.
Yeah. So I think he was extra supportive because he got Land Shark. So he also helped me diagnose a problem I'm having down here in the cave. In our one storage room over here, I got tiles that started this winter kind of like bubbling up at the edges. And I had it right that it's a water issue, but I've been looking everywhere, like where could this come from? And he helped me diagnose a problem with my sump pump. It's running, it's just not collecting fast enough. There's some repairs I got to do, but that's a project for this weekend.
Own a home, they said. It'll be great, they said.
Well, I mean, it gives me a cave of wonder. I have this lovely podcast studio.
And bubbling tile.
And
with
bubbling.
a water feature.
Yeah. It could be worse. Could be worse. So
it could be a water feature dripping down behind you on top of that nice setup you got behind you. Dribble.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, the lovely teepee that everybody keeps hoping that I pop out of. So I think that was Mr. Clinton Cunanan's most disappointing thing about being on episode 100. I didn't do anything with the teepee.
Yeah, but we got that nice NFT out of them.
We did. I already made use of it. It showed up in the thumbnail. I don't know if you noticed that.
I sure did. 100% noticed it. I'm thirsty.
Yeah, we should get to what's on tap. Would you like to go first, sir? Since I've been making you wait. All of my rantings and ravings.
I suppose. I will say, as we do our What's on Tap in episode 102, the one after 101, you can get this great merchandise at beerbluesbs.com. Click on merch and learn how to make the proper old-fashioned, the Kidder-approved old-fashioned, in fact. Yes, all of the ingredients are on there. And in fact, a friend of the show, Kiki, who many people know around the area, I had to set straight about an old-fashioned because Papa Hefe ordered an old-fashioned when we met up earlier this week. Not a Kidder-approved old-fashioned. In fact, very disappointing. But if you want to know how, you can get one of these amazing pint glasses with the recipe on there, so you can just build it in here, even though it should be in a highball glass. But, I would like an old-fashioned this size anyway. A pint old-fashioned. I will take one of those. Or perhaps I'll take a water. Yes. With hops and grain. My classy mug on the side of a mug. That's not quite a mug, it's a pint glass. But you can get my mug on a mug. And the Triple B logo on the back, beerbluesbs.com. Please click merch. And if you just want a regular version, you can get this, the classic logo, beerbluesbs.com, right there on the website. Low price. We're making, cents on the dollar, so don't blame us for the prices. Just please help us. Sharing is caring, don't forget. So now that we've done a cheap plug for the merch, perfect place to remind you to smash that sub button, click the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, help us out. And look, I'm getting a beer there, except it wasn't a beer. Yes, it was blackened whiskey. Blackened. So I do have to dig into the Triple B beer fridge. Now, Howard, several episodes ago, and by several, I mean, 5 to 10, I mentioned an amazing opportunity that I was able to take part in, and that was whiskey and gin tasting. You may remember Thomas Moriarty's over in Mandan. Nice shout out to them for hosting. I was out, as you recall, in the previous couple episodes, running low on the supply. So I went hunting at the liquor stores, made sure that, I had enough room in the cart and in my wallet. Not so much in the wallet, but filled up the cart anyway. So I happened to be strolling the hallways and the aisleways and came across this. Yes, it is live in living color, the Glendalough Pot Still Irish Whiskey. This is one of the Glendalough flavors that I tasted at the tasting there. And this is the version that is first matured in the American oak ex-bourbon cask and then matured in the Irish oak cask from the Wicklow Mountains surrounding the Glendalough distillery. And on the back, very beautiful case, by the way, and the gold label on the top, or gold cap on the top. But on the back, it has the whole story of the whiskey, which is very cool to learn a little bit on the side and, you know, what happens with it. So, very cool. This is 43% alcohol by volume, and it's a 750 milliliter in this guy. Have not even opened it yet to see the bottle itself. I mean, this packaging is just very nice. It's like an oak tree, so that's kind of nice. So we'll just drop that back into the fridge there for another day. Also, I may have mentioned this on the episode, but I came across and was very surprised that I found this also in the aisle next to it. Yes, the Bareface. This is another tasty whiskey. It is a Canadian whiskey Canadian. Elementally aged triple oak, and it is a 7-year whiskey, 42.5% alcohol by volume. This is a 750 product of Canada. I mentioned this before. Had an old fashioned with this, very tasty. And I do have to say that I was happy that I came across this in the store as well, because, like I said, very tasty. On top of that, at barefacewhiskey.com, and it's Canadian whiskey, so there's no EY, it's just barefacewhiskey.com, as you can see if you're watching the video version. They elementally age these, as they say. That means they put them in shipping containers outside. They just make sure they don't freeze, basically, but the elements there in the seasonal changes make each batch slightly different. Very good when I was able to try it in an old fashioned. So just wanted to share those that I picked up as part of my alcohol pillaging that was going on. So let's see. How about we get into an actual beer? Howard, I came across something in the store. Again, kind of, you know, made myself a little sad because I was going down this road again. And you and I have been down this dusty road a few times already. But it's another Shiner product. I came across a multi-pack, and there were 2 of each flavor in this 12-pack. So yes, I have 6 of these damn things, 6 Shiners to enjoy. This is the first. It's brewed with native Texas dewberries. It's unfiltered, full flavored, 95 calories, and only 2.9 grams of carbs. Even 0 sugar from the Spätzle Brewery in Shiner, Texas. It's 12 fluid ounces, 4% alcohol by volume in this can, made with Ball Corporation aluminum. So there it is. It is a Weissen Easy. And yeah, honor of Brother Nico. Texas dewberries, a drop. Oh, wait. Every drop of Shiner is brewed in Shiner, Texas. How do they have room for all these flavors? I mean, there's so many different flavors. I'm just wondering how they have room for all of that, you know?
So, Kidder, I actually had this on episode 74.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you rate it, and then I'll tell you what I said.
You smell the berry right off the top. along with a hint of hop. I have had much worse on this show, including much worse from the Spätzle Brewery. I mean, it's a pleasant taste. It's not overly sweet, yet it's not dull, and it's not an IPA. It's a solid 3 out of 5.
Interesting. So, Kidder, I said I had this on the show. My rating on this, and this, I guess now that I look at locals, I had the Weiss and Easy Raspberry. So it's the raspberry variant of it.
Uh-huh.
And my comments were, well, that's just really watery. It's not as bad as a lot of stuff we've drank on here. And I gave it a 2 out of 5.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of a similar... It's not the worst thing. Might not be the best thing.
Yeah. Well, so, hey, listen, the Shiner variety pack, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. Be interesting.
Because I don't know. Obviously, I took them out of the box. I took a picture of the box. I have that. And then I put them into the old refrigerator here. But I don't recall all of the flavors that were included in the pack. The only one that I'm for sure that was in there was a Shiner Bock, which is, a good old standby.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I guess that brings it over to me.
Yeah.
And Kidder, I too made a beer run. And I got some tasty, interesting new brews. However, I still have one beer left from the local geek from Idaho. This is from the Grand Teton Brewery. It is their 208 Session Ale. It's got 100% Idaho ingredients, 4.7% alcohol by volume, and that's all I got on here. Canned in Victoria, Idaho. So, yeah. We will give this a try. I have no idea what to expect. It has a hoppy smell to it. It's kind of it's for okay, here's how I'd put this. This is a beer for somebody who wants to dabble in IPAs but doesn't really want to drink an IPA. It's got a pleasant hop flavor. It's not like IPA bitter hops. It's like just enough of the bitter. Definitely has a citrus aftertaste, kind of an orange or lemon. But otherwise, pretty light, fairly smooth. I mean, I know usually when you have hops, you wouldn't describe it as smooth, but it's not bad. It's yeah. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. I think it's probably one of the better ones I've had out of Idaho. So I'm going to enjoy drinking this. It'll be good. It will be good. Yeah. Sorry for all of you who were hoping I was drinking something terrible. Don't worry. I'll remedy that soon. In fact, Kidder, fun story from tonight. I was kind and filled a cooler.
rewound?
No, I was kind, and I filled a cooler full of beverages for my guests, including putting the good beer in there, so that my dad didn't accidentally pick up something out of my fridge, because there's some stuff in there. And I told him, I said, I put the good beer in here. He said, we were talking about it. I go, yeah. I said, I don't want you to have to go out to the beer fridge, because there's stuff in that fridge that'll make you cringe. My wife walked into the conversation at that point, didn't catch that I was talking about the beer fridge. She goes, I cleaned that fridge today. There's nothing to be cringy over with it. I'm like, talking about the beer fridge, honey. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I got some stuff. And Matt Kidder, I bought you a beer.
You bought me a beer.
Uh-huh. Actually, it was because there was a beer that I was like, ooh, I got to try that on the show. But I could only get it in a 4-pack. So, Kidder, I bought the local crew a beer. So I got one for myself. I got one for you. I got one for the local geek. And I got one for Mr. J.S. Gunslinger as well.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah. So at some point, I'll have to get that to all of you, so we can all be on the show and all drink that one together. And get, Kidder, I have a feeling that it's going to be one of those where we're going to have to break out the tech that we used on episode 100 to show the multi-cam view, because I think it's going to be good.
Did you like that?
The multicam? Mm-hmm. It was all right.
Would have been nice to know about earlier. I know.
Yeah. So I did my best to edit it in some places, but I mean, it is what it is. I didn't know it existed, so it's all right. It's all right. Be interested to see what the audience thinks of it. The whole multicam. Who knows? Maybe that's the thing, Kidder, that finally we get a bunch of feedback on and becomes a thing. Like, we want more of the multicam. We want to see you guys all the time. Catch all the reactions.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a thing. So if that's your thing that you want, just drop us a comment. Let us know.
Yep, because we
want to
can't
hear from you.
We can't change it if we don't know that you want us to change it.
It's true. If reading minds were a thing, this show would be much more popular.
I was going to say, if reading minds was a thing, I think we would both be extremely wealthy and,
And we could have somebody else produce our show. Right.
Yeah. So, Kidder, in my usual habit of being super relevant,
It's still been a week.
No, bringing the hard hitting relevant sports news that wasn't like maybe should have been mentioned like 2-3 weeks ago.
Terrestrial radio sucks.
No, Kidder, we. Well, yes, it does. You're just throwing me up. All I'm trying to do, Kidder, is say we here at the Triple B want to offer our congratulations to the Bismarck Legacy Sabres, who were the winners of the West Region High School Hockey Tournament this year. Yeah.
Way to go, Mario Lamoureux and company. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, the team's second year in existence, and they win that tournament and go into the state tournament, the top seed from the West region. So, really, we should have said that because, I mean, the state tournament, Kidder, was like last week. So,
yeah, even for this show.
Yeah. So, we're a bit behind. And for those who want to know how, and I hate to talk about state, Legacy winning.
You're going to do it, huh?
I'm gonna do it. Here's the very quick rundown of the state tournament. From the West, we had the Legacy Sabres as the number 1 seed. They would play Fargo Davies, the 4th seed from the East, and it would go to 2 rounds of overtime before Fargo Davies would pull out the win 2-1, sending Legacy to the consolation bracket. It really wasn't good for the West region at all. The number 2 seed Minot would lose 2-0 to West Fargo Cheyenne. The number 3 seed Bismarck Century would lose 3-2 to Fargo South. The number 4 seed Jamestown would lose to the number 1 seeded team from the East, Grand Forks Red River. Jamestown would beat Minot to move on. Legacy would lose to Bismarck Century to move on. So they got a consolation final between Jamestown and Bismarck Century. On the winners' side, you would have Red River, Grand Forks Red River, stomping West Fargo Cheyenne 6-3. Fargo South would beat Fargo Davies 4-0. Fargo South and Red River would play to 3 periods of overtime before we'd get a winner there, 3-2. Your state champions for the 2023 Fargo South, the team that was predicted to more than likely be in that position at the beginning of the season. So Red River takes second. In the 3rd place game, we had West Fargo Cheyenne versus Fargo Davies. And in there, you would have Cheyenne beat Davies 3-1. So Cheyenne takes 3rd, Davies takes 4th. Getting back to that consolation championship between Jamestown and Bismarck Century. So for 5th place, in a score of 2-1, your 5th place, and I know, Kidder, you're going to be excited, is Bismarck Century taking over the 5th place spot.
Way to go, Patriots.
Yeah, so the sad thing is Legacy wins West region, but then has kind of a pretty poor state tournament showing. So that was a little disappointing to see. But hey, congratulations to the Legacy on winning West region in your 2nd year of existence. Kidder, I've been so busy following all of this high school hockey action from weeks ago. I haven't been following anything else. How the Mavs doing?
Well, aside from a barn burner game on Thursday, a 7-5 loss against the New Jersey Devils, the Avs have won 7 of the past 9 games. And in fact, tomorrow they play the matinee game. So there is that afternoon hockey. But one thing that I would love to tote is, and we kind of talked about the different things with, what's important, right? So-and-so played X number games. So-and-so has this many points, this many assists. Well, this one is important, I believe, and that is Mikko Rantanen. He is on a tear. And in fact, he is 6th on the list, the fastest 240 goals in franchise history. That includes the previous iteration of the Avalanche, the Quebec Nordiques. Okay. And in fact, he is the only one from the Avalanche in the top 7 that are listed on the graphic, courtesy of Altitude TV. Now, the cool thing about it is it took him 58 games to hit his 40th goal of the season. The quickest in Avalanche history happened back in in franchise history, happened in 1983. You can see on there, Mikel Goulet, 46 games to hit 40 goals. I mean, that's very cool as well. But Mikko Rantanen, a fantastic player. He's doing a great job. Love watching him play. He's scoring goals. He's doing things. He's doing work. And, man, you get him, McKinnon, Cale Makar, and Gabe Landeskog together. I mean, it's just a miracle on ice. Sad news, though. Cale Makar has been put on the long-term injured reserve list due to concussions. He got a couple concussions. He was out for a couple games, and then in the very next game that he came back to play, another concussion because of an illegal punch to the face that wasn't called. So, very disappointing. However, I'm glad that he is, expected to be doing fine. Okay. Other than that, Gabe Landeskog potentially may not return this season. So, does that mean the Avalanche don't make it into the playoffs and the potential Stanley Cup run? I don't know. There were a couple trades at trade deadline. They weren't blockbuster trades by any stretch of the imagination. However, the Avalanche group that is playing right now together, I think, are doing pretty well, aside from the barn burner again the other night. Here's the ridiculous thing with that game with New Jersey. At the end of the 3 periods, with the empty net goal to make it 7-5, because it was 6-5, Avs pulled Justus Annunen and attempted the extra skater, but got the empty net goal instead for the Troubles. The shots, and don't quote me because I don't completely remember, but they were both around 28 goals a team. So when you do the math, it was almost 1 out of every 5 shots in the game was a goal. Can we get a little defense? I mean, at least for the Avalanche, I'm okay with the Avs scoring 5 or 6 goals on an enemy team. But that many against? Like, come on, guys. In other hockey-related good news, as you see, I'm wearing the Fighting Sioux Nike shiny jersey, as it were, from back in the early 2000s. Tonight, University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux playing University of Nebraska Omaha. Uno, as it were. You like Uno, Howard?
Not really. Well, I have a version of it that is nostalgic to me because we played it when I was a kid and we'd go camping. But otherwise, no.
Well, this game in the Ralph Engelstead Arena in Grand Forks, North Dakota. The University of Nebraska Omaha Mavericks 4. Your University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux 5 in overtime.
Nice.
That was kind of a barn burner as well because it was 3-1 Sioux going into the third. Uno tied it up a couple times and then went to OT, and yes, the Fighting Sioux clinched the OT victory. Other scores around the NCHC tonight: Western Michigan 5-0 over University of Ohio Miami. or Miami of Ohio. You know what I mean. Also, University of Minnesota Duluth over St. Cloud State 4-3. And University of Denver currently in the second period, blanking Colorado College 2-0 at the moment. In the Big Ten, in OT final, University of Michigan 6, the Wisconsin Badgers 5. Northern Michigan beat Bemidji State 7-3. Minnesota State trouncing all over Lake Superior State 6-1. And other scores as well. This scoring update brought to you by insert sponsor here, because we don't have one. And if you'd like to be a sponsor of the Triple B, go to beerbluesbs.com and contact us.
It's worth a shot.
I mean, I'm trying.
I know you're trying. I'm trying to figure out where the hell I lost a trebuchet at. Howard problems.
Maybe it was in Austin, Minnesota, with the Austin Bruins facing the Bismarck Bobcats. Your final score, Bruins 1. Your Bismarck Bobcats 4.
I don't think it was there, but hey, I found it.
That was a quick return.
Yeah. Well. It's good. I'll work on that one next. Yes.
Is that music to your ears?
Well, you know, it's at least nice to be able to find the kit I'm looking for, because I'm working on this trebuchet. I just need to put the wheels on. I'm like, I know I have a second one that I'd like to assemble. So, you know, that's that. And I'm, yes, Kidder, squashing your transition that you so beautifully worked in there, because
I mean, there was that
we do on the show.
Yeah. I mean, it's all fun and games until the wheels fall off.
Yeah, especially these. These got spikes on them, man. Imagine changing that tire.
No, it just stays there. Just leave it. Somebody else can deal with it. Speaking of changing, Godsmack's new album came out, and here it is, In the Flesh. The brand new album, lighting up the sky, potentially Godsmack's final full-length studio album. Good tracks. There's the track listing on the back with Sully and crew. And, you know, why would it actually focus? Because we can't focus on things. But there's the track listing. Let me put it real close so then it certainly won't. All right. Track number 1, their first single from the album, You and I. The second track, Red, White, and Blue. Number 3, Surrender. Actually, Surrender was the first track that they released as a single. The second one was You and I. Number 4 is What About Time? 5, it's called Truth. 6 is Hell's Not Dead. Number 7, Soul on Fire, the third single off of the brand new album. 8, Let's Go! 9, Best of Times. 10, probably What's Happening to You as I describe this, Growing Old. And number 11, Lighting Up the Sky, the title track to the brand new album. I do like the blue. I like the planet with the Godsmack logo on it. Very nice track there. And no, I haven't actually opened her up yet. Also, this week, brand new Metallica from the new album 72 Seasons released. It's called If Darkness Had a Child, making it their third single released from the brand new album, hitting store shelves next month in April. Looking forward to it. Gonna jam out to it, rock out to it with the summer, and then enjoy some Phoenix rock and roll Metallica style coming up in September.
So, Kidder, first, I could have sworn that when I saw new music on here, I was going to talk about the Metallica thing first. So,
yep. I have to swerve you. You know, you can't expect to get everything you want.
Second, who's the bass player for Metallica?
Robert Trio.
Oh, you sure it's not Jason Momoa?
I mean, very close cousin. Yes,
okay.
Very close. Yep.
Or is it Roman Reigns?
No,
those three all look so similar. I get them mixed up.
You're right, but it can't be Roman Reigns because Robert Trio actually moves faster than molasses in Canada in January.
Yeah. No, I saw an interview with Jason Momoa where the interviewer was comparing him to both Roman Reigns and the bassist of Metallica. So that's
just rude.
Jason Momoa was actually pretty good about it, you know. But Jason Momoa, like, he just seems like one of those just so down to earth kind of guys that it's just like, you know, he's just gonna go with anything in that case. But hey, since I brought up Roman Reigns, Kidder,
yeah,
the Wrestling Observer put out their 2023 or their 2022 wrestling awards.
I'm gonna hate it already. Go for it.
So let me go through these. I had to grab a screen capture of this, so let me blow it up so my old eyes can see here.
What?
Let's maybe start at the bottom and work our way up to the more exciting awards.
And was it like top 10?
No, there's just a lot of awards, and it's like the person I grabbed this from, they're like, let's start off with Wrestler of the Year. It's like, well, let's build to that, you know, let's get up to that. So we're gonna go down the bottom of the list, work our way up. The documentary of the year was Tales from the Territories. It was made by the same guys, I believe, or at least in the same vein as Dark Side of the Ring. So if you enjoyed the Dark Side of the Ring documentary series, you would enjoy Tales from the Territories. I haven't watched any of it yet, but it's on my list to check out because
Tales from the Crypt.
The most disgusting promotional tactic of the year. What? Do you want to take a guess on this one, Kidder?
This show.
No.
Oh.
No.
All right.
It was Vince McMahon appears after sexual misconduct allegations.
That'll happen.
Yeah, if you recall, when the allegations first started becoming public, he actually made an appearance. I think it was like on both Raw and SmackDown, just to kind of be like, "Welcome to the show."
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Best on interviews. Do you want to take a guess?
There've been some good interviews. So Cody Rhodes.
Good guess. This guy actually used to be an ally of Cody Rhodes. It's MJF takes home the award for best interviews. Promoter of the year.
Tony Khan.
You'd be correct, sir. Tony Khan. Booker of the year.
Booker T.
Unfortunately, no.
I jest. I obviously know what a Booker is, but I mean, Booker T should win the Booker of the year, right?
I mean, he does have the best catchphrase with the whole, you know, shucky, shucky, quack, quack, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
The shucka-ducka, quack, quack moment of the night. Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the Booker of the Year was also Tony Khan. So pulling down words. Announcer of the Year.
Excalibur.
No, although I mean, right up there with her. Kevin Kelly got Announcer of the Year. And this brings us to Worst Announcer of the Year.
Man, I want to say Michael Cole, but it's not.
It's not Michael Cole.
It's not Corey Graves either.
What? Oh, you sure?
Oh, we'll go for it then. Corey Graves.
Hey, way to go, kidder.
Wow.
Corey Graves gets a Worst Announcer of the Year. I can agree with that.
That's interesting that Pat McAfee didn't edge him out, but he hasn't been on for like half the year because he was doing ESPN Game Day.
You know, I think that's because there's a lot of people who actually like Pat McAfee. I mean, he's not quite as polished as like a Mauro Ranallo, but at least
there's an announcer.
Yeah, but at least I will give Pat McAfee. He brings energy, he brings excitement, and he's different. I'll give him that.
All right, yeah.
You know, he's not everybody's cup of tea. I can, so I totally understand that not everybody likes him, but I will at least give it as he's somebody different and he brings an energy and it's not just the same old, same old. So I'll give him that credit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Move of the year. This would be a hard one for you to guess.
When Raw went back to 2 hours. Oh, that hasn't happened yet.
I would have voted for that one. It's going to end up being Will Ospreay's Hidden Blade is the move of the year. Adjusting that elbow pad. Best major show of the year.
AEW All Out. Even though what happened was backstage and nobody saw it during the show.
It could have been a good one. This one, I think, might have been more of a sleeper pick. And I say it's, this is from the Wrestling Observer. They're they follow all of the wrestling. And because they follow all of the wrestling, they would probably be the ones most excited for this. And this is AEW's The Forbidden Door. And it's because they know the guys from New Japan. Mm-hmm. They know the guys from AEW. And if you follow both promotions, then this is like a super show.
Right.
But if you don't follow New Japan, then it's like, who for some of these guys? So that was the best. We have the worst major show.
So which WWE premium live event do I choose? Because it can't be all of them. And I'm guessing because, that's 2023 for Elimination Chamber, so it can't be that one. Was it Money in the Bank?
No.
Oh, man.
No, kidder, it was not. It happens to be my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
Payback.
The Royal Rumble.
What?
So the Royal Rumble 2022 was deemed the worst.
How? I mean, it was bad. Like, I didn't like it, but there were other pay-per-views that were worse.
I tend to agree with you, kidder. I tend to agree with you. I don't know how this was the worst major show. You had, I'm trying to think back to some of the stuff we reviewed. I mean, things like Day One, wasn't that great. Yeah, we've had.
Yeah, that was dumb.
If I'm not even mistaken, wasn't 2022 the year that we had like the Extreme Rules pay-per-view that had no Extreme Rules? Or was that 21? I mean,
They all blend together.
yeah, I mean, it's that, but yeah, that's what they voted. So, best weekly show of the year.
NWA Power.
Unfortunately, they weren't active most of the year.
No.
And such, but no, the best weekly show of the year was AEW Dynamite.
Wow.
Yep. Which brings us to the worst weekly show of the year.
SmackDown.
Close. You should have gone for the 3-hour one.
Oh. I mean, Raw was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
But when you're fighting for the basement, you're both in the basement, so
yeah. And I'm gonna just say I have a feeling that it's because they liked the Bloodline storyline a bit more than you did, was probably why they went SmackDown over Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's so boring. There are interesting parts, but like now it's actually getting interesting. But when you have the whole group, I'm just bored. Takes them 10 minutes to come out to the ring. 10 minutes to actually talk. And then I've fallen asleep by the time they actually start making the promo.
I think it's been carried a lot by Sami Zayn.
Yes. Yes. The Uzi movement has carried it.
Yeah. This brings us to most overrated wrestler of the year.
I would say it's a multi-way tie. You're going to love this. And it's going to be kind of left field, but not if you've been paying attention to what I complain about. It is a multi-way tie between, I'll just group them as the Elite and Roman Reigns. So it's like a 5-way tie and change because of all the other people who are associated with the Elite.
So I hate to break your bubble, but it was none of them. The most overrated wrestler of the year,
Ronda Rousey,
was Ronda Rousey.
Wow! Bam!
Yeah.
She's apparently also injured now.
Yeah.
Her arm is messed up or something. That's new as of this week.
The most underrated wrestler of the year.
Action Andretti. Oh, wait. Yes. He was here in 22. I forgot how far into 23 we are.
No, and I hate to tell you, this is a New Japan one, so I didn't expect you to get it.
No.
But I'm going to probably butcher the name. Konosuke Takeshita. I know I have Takeshita right.
Oh. Kaneshite Takeshita.
Thank you.
He's on AEW.
Ah, okay.
He signed with them.
That's right. He did. But yeah,
Kaneshite Tashika.
Takeshita.
I think it's Takeshita though, or something.
Hey, do you know the correct answer? Tell us in the comments down below.
Excalibur, where are you to say the name? Because I'm not drunk enough to slur my speech to make it sound like I'm correct.
Okay.
Sorry.
Most improved wrestler of the year. And Kidder, I will give you a hint. It is a tag team.
Gosh. Otis and Chad Gable.
No, Kidder. No.
Oh.
That's it's the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed to pick up most improved wrestler of the year.
I mean, that's good. I mean, everybody loves the Acclaimed.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Worst gimmick of the year.
Where do I start? Man, Bray Wyatt's gimmick is getting in there to me because it's got stupid. It's just dumb now. I was very excited when he came back and he's mysterious and this and that and like we're bringing the Wyatt 6 or whatever the hell all the rumors were, and hey, maybe it's a return to the Wyatt family and doom doo doom boom 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 boo doom boo doom boo doo, bringing in the cult and real interesting things. And now it's like we're making a gimmicky workout video and it's the Firefly Funhouse again. I'm like, stop the crap. Get her out of here.
So, well, I'll agree with you on that. This is actually a group picking up the worst gimmick of the year. And I'll give you one more hint.
Can I buy a vowel?
I'll give you one more hint. They're so bad that one of the members has already left and has changed his name back to his original gimmick.
The Maximum Male Models.
There you go. I knew that hint was a bit too much, but yes.
It's over the top like Marseille.
Yeah. All right. We did the worst gimmick. Gimmick of the year.
The Acclaimed.
It is not the Acclaimed.
Well, that's just wrong. They probably went with the Bloodline because they're up Roman Reigns' ass.
It's a member of the Bloodline. And we were just talking about him. It is the guy who has probably, in your opinion, carried the Bloodline. It is Sami Zayn, the honorary Uce.
Sure. See, with that, I don't quite see it as a gimmick, though. And so I think they got that one wrong because, like the gimmick to me is more of the group, right? Because yes, a wrestler needs a gimmick, but what most of the wrestlers fall for right now is they're all the same wrestler with different trunks. And it's very boring to tell us, any storyline. But Sami Zayn has had an interesting journey. I would almost say that it wasn't interesting to that degree in 22, but once it turned into 23, then it has really become an interesting gimmick and feud with Roman Reigns, right? That's what I would go. And so as an overall gimmick, I stick with my assumption that it should have been the Acclaimed.
The high flyer of the year, I'm not gonna ask. It's not. It's El Higo del Vikingo.
From
I don't know.
Okay.
I've never heard him. Which is why I didn't think you would guess him. It's like I don't even know who this is.
Okay.
But hey, good for you. Good for you. Technical wrestler of the year.
Wheeler Yuta.
Good guess, but I'm gonna have to say no, Kidder.
Well, he's the pure champion, the pure wrestling champion.
No.
Well, fine. Your hero can have it.
Yes, he can. Bryan Danielson picks up technical wrestler of the year. Feud.
I picked the right team.
You did pick the right team. You were in the ballpark. Feud of the year.
CM Punk and MJF.
That was a good one, but it does not beat out FTR versus the Briscoes.
Yeah, but I didn't see it, so it doesn't count.
All right.
And I mean, had it happened, on a normally televised show, because I don't watch Ring of Honor, I don't have time for that. I'm sure it's great to see Ring of Honor people floating through AEW because they own the company, but I just didn't see it. And on top of it, haven't even seen FTR since the match. And of course, may Jay Briscoe rest in peace.
Yeah. So that was the feud of the year, which brings us to worst feud of the year.
Where do I begin? Anything involving Omos.
That
he's terrible.
He is terrible. However, they decide to go with The Miz versus Dexter Lumis.
I have to disagree with that because at least it was funny and kind of creepy, but somewhat funny because when they were in Philadelphia, they got Gritty involved. And Gritty beat up The Miz. And then I got to, pat The Miz on the back for having tiny balls.
As I said, I think that they, I'm going to guess that they got this because I know I've listened to a little bit of the Wrestling Observer. I think that their big thing was that the final payoff between The Miz and Dexter Lumis was just, that's where it fell flat. Like, it wasn't the stalking stuff. It was like, okay, they're finally going to have a match. And it was just a match. It was done. It's like all that build up for a match. I think that's why it probably ended up on the list. So
you just made the list.
All right, here we go. Match of the year.
Oh man. Well, Sheamus and Gunther.
Very good match. Very good match. However, they went from New Japan Wrestling Kazuchika Okada versus Will Ospreay at the G1 Climax. That's what they went with. I'm sure it was good. The usually the final of the G1 is it's a big match. I'll put it this way, Kidder. I know New Japan, not necessarily your thing. New Japan would, their whole G1 tournament is what King of the Ring should be. Like, just the quality of it. Mm-hmm. It's a big friggin' deal. And they really do. At the end, they crown their best wrestler in the company, period. It's, it's intense too. It's like they do the whole tournament and it's like over the course of a month and it is just constant. So anyway, this brings us to the worst match of the year.
Too bad the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match didn't happen in 22. Gosh, there were some awful matches. Probably the Women's Royal Rumble match.
I'll give you a hint, Kidder. This match happened at WrestleMania.
It's really hard to say because, that was 2 days and it was almost a year ago. So I've already moved on in my life.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to bring this match back up because it's gonna have you going, oh, ow, pain. Yes, that was terrible because it was
The
Pat
Vince
McAfee.
McMahon match.
Pat McAfee versus Vince McMahon at WrestleMania. Yeah. Oof. All right. Best non-wrestler of the year.
Like celebrity guest? Is that what this crap is? Why are we giving an award? Why are we encouraging this behavior?
This isn't celebrity. It could be a celebrity. But to think more along the lines of like manager, valet, mouthpiece, general manager.
I will go with the wise man, Paul Heyman.
And that would be correct. Paul Heyman picking up Best Non-Wrestler of the Year. Okay, Rookie of the Year.
Action Andretti?
No.
Willow Nightingale.
No. It's from NXT.
No.
And that it'll be Braun Breaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of unfair because, he had training as he grew up in life, but whatever.
Yeah. Most outstanding wrestler of the year.
Let's see. Who stood outside the most? What?
It's just
Drew McIntyre. I saw that he and the Miz got into it or was it? Yeah, I think it was the Miz. I don't know. He hit somebody in the parking lot. I don't know. It was a terrible segment. That should have been the worst gimmick. Worst segment of the year.
Unfortunately, they don't have a worst segment of the year, but that gonna
because there's too many nominations. That's why.
Yeah. The most outstanding wrestler of the year was Will Ospreay, who has been mentioned several times on this list.
I wonder who he paid off.
Will Ospreay, again, he's New Japan. He has had a hell of a year. Women's MVP of the year.
Let's see. Probably Bianca Belair.
And it's not. It's I'm gonna get this wrong. Syuri? Syuri? Syuri. Sorry, if I'm butchering that. I don't know this individual. I've never heard it pronounced, so try my best. Tag team of the year.
The Acclaimed. No, FTR. No, the Briscoes. Where am I?
What? I'll tell you this, kidder. One of those is correct. So
perfect. I got it right. Let's move on.
It is FTR, the guys who held almost all the titles this year. Yeah, makes sense.
They deserve it.
All right, kidder. Last one. Wrestler of the year.
They probably made it Roman Reigns.
No. Not. It's not Roman Reigns. He's associated with Roman Reigns.
Sami Zayn?
No.
Solo Sikoa?
No. He's part of a different brand or a different promotion now, I should say.
John Moxley.
There you go. John Moxley picking up Wrestler of the Year.
Not bad. Good for him. Mox had a hell of a promo this week on Dynamite. It was after the match. He got attacked by Adam Page, and Adam Page put the barbed wire around his fist and then started punching the crap out of Mox. The promo was gold because Mox was profusely bleeding from his skull and just down. You couldn't even see his eye. It was just bleeding all down, and they even panned down as the blood is dripping and there's pooling on the ground of all of the blood. Looks like Revolution is going to be a great show on Sunday.
Yeah, no, I mean, great for Mox. He has had a hell of a year. The only criticism I have even seen of him throughout the course of this year is a little too much of the bleeding.
It's pretty much every match.
Yeah, it's that. But so that's like the only real criticism is that you could save that and not break it out all the time, but save it for the special stuff. And I could see that. If you bleed every match, it kind of becomes less
shocking.
Yeah. It's kind of like if you go back to old school WWE when they would allow bleeding, you didn't see that like on the weekly show. It was at the pay-per-view 9 times out of 10 where you'd see some blood.
Mm-hmm.
But because they did it that way, again, it helped make the pay-per-view seem special and not so, like, oh, it's a regular Monday Night Raw. So, but there we go. That was the 2022 Wrestling Observer Awards. Overall, I mean, I don't disagree with too many of them. I thought they were pretty good, pretty spot on for the most part.
I apparently disagreed with more.
Yeah, but you had
reasons.
I was going to say, like, even the things that you pointed out or like called out or said like it should be this, I would almost guess, we're just seeing the winners. We're not seeing all the nominees and all of the votes. I'd almost guess that some of these people that you had thrown out in there were on that list and were up and nominated for these awards. So,
well, they're on our nomination list. And to add to that, who would you nominate for any of those categories, or who would you choose? Drop us a comment. Like and share. Thanks.
Kidder, I see, thanks to our handy dandy run sheet, we have some more wrestling news.
Yeah. You want to hit it hard?
Let's hit it hard and fast.
Okay, let's go home. Wait, we are home. So, it's never good to illegally carry weapons. I mean, I have to sneak these bad boys in everywhere I go. But yeah, you're welcome for that. No trebuchets. No. Plus that thing, you got spiky wheels. You try and put that in your pocket, man. You pull it out and you're just going to tear things that shouldn't be torn. So I'm going to help you help yourself. Just leave it at home or leave it in the car. First of all, interesting situation in the fact that this goes back to 2020. As we have talked about before, WWE superstar, as she's known, Sonya Deville, her real name is Daria Baronato. She had a stalker, if you may remember. Now, because of that, she obtained a concealed carry permit through Florida. In fact, as part of it, a judge in Florida helped to expedite that permit, so then she had a firearm to be able to protect herself before that whole situation was resolved and her stalker was put behind bars. So, fast forward to last month, she was in New Jersey. It's a Jersey thing. Now, her concealed carry permit in Florida does not have reciprocity, apparently, with New Jersey. On this fateful night of February 19th, apparently, she and her now fiancé were out celebrating. The firearm was located in their vehicle while it was being valeted. Now, I don't know why a valet was searching through the car or how that happened, etc., but she was ultimately arrested in New Jersey. So, following up on that, again, she's been charged with 1 count of unlawful weapon possession, handgun without a permit. Again, even though she has a permit in Florida, doesn't have reciprocity with New Jersey, apparently. So she's in the process of trying to get it thrown out. She's doing court this month. Top of that, WWE has indicated apparently that she has no heat and she just wanted to protect herself against, the stalker and that sort of thing. So, I don't know. She has not been on television since February 10th. Your thoughts on illegally carrying a weapon?
This is a tough one. I totally understand the desire to, protect oneself and to arm oneself and all of that. But at the same time, if you are traveling into a different state, good to know the rules and all of that. It is kind of sad that it's because somebody was possibly snooping around in her vehicle that this was found. Hopefully, here's my hope. Hopefully it just gets resolved and it isn't a bigger issue than it really is. It's just yeah. I'm hoping it works out. This just sounds a little stupid in my book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Kind of bizarre. Otherwise, let's see. I mentioned earlier, as you're talking about the lists of stupid gimmicks and segments and things like that, there was a terrible segment on Monday Night Raw where Bobby Lashley was being called out by Bray Wyatt in a terrible workout video that they've put Bray Wyatt in odd costumes and workout gear, and then photoshopped and used video clips of Bobby Lashley in it with a stupid song. Like, what are they doing? Like, this is just dumb. The backstage news is also that because if you remember, maybe not, it's okay, but basically Bray Wyatt had a promo that said the winner of Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar had better watch out. Essentially. So it could have gone to either person with a feud at WrestleMania. Allegedly, the backstage sources claim that Brock Lesnar saw the potential feud and the storyline and how stupid it was and went, nah, man, I'm going to work with Omos. I'll take that one. As dumb as that is. Again, allegedly, because, it's rumors through a news source that's a rumored news source and, et cetera, et cetera. Speaking, unless you had thoughts on that.
I could understand not wanting to work with Bray after the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match and just the stuff they've done with him as of late. I could understand somebody being like, no, I'm not going to do this. And especially because I'd almost guess, like, I would almost guess that they would have it that Bray beats Brock.
Yeah. And we don't need that.
Yeah. So, but that's guessing.
Yeah. Purely speculation, folks. Also, a bit of speculation for you, Howard Blues. Lesnar is finishing his wrestling run. And WrestleMania may be his last appearance, at least as a part-time wrestler and wrestling in general.
I could see it. I mean, what does Brock really have left to do in the WWE? He's done it all. He's been the champion. They're not going to make him champion for a while. They're running with Roman still, and they might have Cody beat Roman and change that. But I don't see them putting the belt back on Brock anytime real soon. And so if you're Brock, it doesn't work when he's not in the title picture. Look at this feud with Lashley. It hasn't been good. And it hasn't been good because it's Brock. You expect him to be in the title picture. So I can see it. If they're not going to keep him in that top spot, go away for a while. Let it get cold. Maybe make an appearance every now and then. But yeah, I can see it.
I do have to say, as a rebuttal to your comment there, that the Lesnar and Lashley feud has been more interesting than Bray Wyatt's storylines in the past 2 months.
I can see that. Bray is one of those things you have to do stuff the right way, and when all it is promos and hey, here's the Firefly Funhouse again, and just constant promos and nothing builds, nothing happens. Yeah, I mean, and I like Bray Wyatt, but you can't make him a villain doing interesting thing. Like if you go back to cult leader Bray, when he showed up, it would, it's like, oh man, there goes my day. I'm going to have to deal with this psychopath, and he would show up. He would interfere in your matches. He would, make it you miserable until you finally had to deal with him and the Wyatt family. Mm-hmm. And we don't see that now. It's just, it's the worst parts of the things that they ever did with Bray. It's we're just going to have him talk. We're just going to have him, do these constant segments. You need that. You need to have interesting matches when you finally get him on the, to have a match. It's got to be a good match. I would say they have kind of bungled this return of Bray Wyatt. And I don't know,
way more than kinda.
Yeah. Well, I watched an interview with him, and I would make the argument, because he said in there that we're never going to get cult leader Bray back, because, as he put it, how do I do that without Brody? He was my brother. It feels wrong to do that gimmick without him. He also said that he won't ever do the Fiend again. He said that gimmick died, at WrestleMania.
Perfect.
Because of how it was treated and all of that, which I'm sad for, because the Fiend could have been awesome. I liked the look of the Fiend, like just the overall look and appearance. I loved it, especially juxtaposed versus the Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt. They just booked it stupid. You know, they botched that one terribly. So you took two of the things that he got over and got rid of them. And now you're introducing this Uncle Howdy. You don't know what's going on. And it's not even intriguing or mysterious. You know, it's just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you want to know what it reminds me of? Well, you know, no, you'll get a kick out of this, kidder.
The Shockmaster?
No. It reminds me of the later runs of Stephen Moffat's Doctor Who. He's blown the already really good, well-crafted stories of the first two seasons that he's ran, and now it's, hey, we're dinosaurs on a spaceship. You know, it's that. It's I created these two very creative, unique characters that people were just dying to see more of. Now I got to create new characters. Uncle Howdy, and I mean, I heard Bray talk about it on this podcast interview. You know, like, oh, there's a lot of backstory to Uncle Howdy, and there's more to it, and all of that. I think if we knew that, it maybe would make it interesting and make it more sense. But right now, it's not even really an intriguing mystery. It's just kind of, well, that's something. So anyway, that's enough of me ranting about Bray Wyatt. Continue with your news, good sir.
I was just enjoying that because I'm glad that you're amped up about it too.
Well, I like Bray Wyatt. I like the character. I liked the stuff that he did. He's always been different. He's always been interesting, you know. And I like that. It's to me, his stuff was the best stuff. Even the ranting, raving stuff. I just never have felt like they've done him. They've never given him great justice with how they've booked him. And that part kind of bugs me. So.
No justice for all. All right. Speaking of justice, let's try and wrap this sort of thing up. King of the Ring. We sort of talked about it earlier of what King of the Ring should be. Well, allegedly, this upcoming King of the Ring will be held in Saudi Arabia. So instead of taking the chamber overseas, they're now taking the crowns overseas, which insert your own jokes about the royalty or the blood money or the oil, or insert a bunch of different things. However you choose. It's like multiple choice for you. Yeah.
Enough said.
Wrapping up the WWE discussion, we will have insider information about WWE and potential outcomes at or post WrestleMania as WWE Live stops in Fargo the week before WrestleMania. And yes, we have content coming to us from the show. So we will discuss that in a tease coming up very soon. Any other AEW or WWE content you want to talk about before we switch to AEW?
No. I have not followed any of the news, so
okay.
This is all news to me.
Very enlightened, I see, because you have the lights behind you. Thank you. All right. So as we talk about AEW Revolution, as mentioned before, coming up Sunday night, and we may or may not have that special edition for you just because the damn show probably won't be done until sometime after 11 o'clock Central. And man, we're old and we got jobs. So
And kids.
I don't know it's just one of those things. Do we stay up an extra hour and speed review it or not? I mean, it looks like it'll be a great show, including the headliner, the main event. Sorry, the main event is MJF and Bryan Danielson in a 60-minute Iron Man match for the Triple B, the AEW World Championship. Also, Texas Death Match with Mox and Hangman Page. So they're doing that again, and I'm sure it's going to be blood running everywhere. They're going to have to change the mat. It'll be bad. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's coming up Sunday. This past week, some good storyline movement. Also, a triple threat match for the AEW World Women's Championship. Saraya, Ruby Soho, and the AEW Women's World Champion, Jamie Hayter. Probably with Britt Baker, but Britt Baker's injured. Looks like it'll be an interesting show, so we'll see there. But again, what other interesting things? Some good promos. The Acclaimed lost the tag titles to the Guns. And so that's been a somewhat of a feud there with Daddy Ass and the Ass Boys, because Billy Gunn is still affiliated with the Acclaimed. Also, Jungle Boy Jack Perry and Christian Cage in a match at Revolution to settle the score over the past year of all the attacks from Christian Cage. And Christian Cage had some good promos. Love the promos there. Oh, man. The Acclaimed have had some hilarious moments, and they do the raps and whatnot as they make their way to the ring. Been some very good times there. Even referencing WWE stuff here and there. That's been pretty good. Otherwise, yeah, we'll see what happens with Sunday and where AEW goes here in the future. Hopefully, again, still have hope, a little bit of fucking hope that CM Punk will return, and it was all a work after all. A side note, AEW is starting a brand new show that will air immediately following Rampage, I believe. It's AEW All Access, and one of the initial stories that they will have on the All Access is Adam Cole, baby, and his story of getting concussed and having serious health issues, not even being able to stand without throwing up, and different crazy things in his road to recovery and making his way back to the wrestling ring. All right. Unless you have any other wrestling talk, we need to double down as a wrestling pun reference and a food reference. You talked about food earlier, but man, it's the second time in the show. We got to double down on this too.
I do got one other wrestling.
Well, double
thing.
down. Let's go.
Very, very quickly, Kidder. There are rumors flying around. Kenny Omega's contract is set to expire soon. And there's a lot of talk. He may be coming to WWE.
So I hate to bust your speculation, but he was in an interview this week and said that there's no way he's going to WWE.
I'm glad you could clear up that rumor, Kidder. As I said, I haven't really been following anything. It was like a headline I read on Facebook at one point. So
yeah,
thanks for filling me in. I feel more educated.
And no problem, man. I mean, I just have to hate him on one show and one platform, not on the other. No, I don't like Kenny Omega, and he is not God's greatest gift to wrestling. I'm channeling Jim Cornette, I think. All right. So let's double down on another thing here. Food. And again, KFC. You may remember this from about 10 years ago. The KFC Double Down. There's no buns with it. There's 2 chicken breasts. Those are the buns. And like a piece of cheese and some sauce. That's the sandwich. Do you remember this when it was out before?
I kind of remember it.
It was so good and so gross at the same time. I felt like I needed a shower after eating it. I don't really know why, because it wasn't that greasy. Because you can get it at regular, traditional recipe or extra crispy. So I, of course, get the extra crispy because it's delicious. Well, it's back, baby! So stop by your local KFC and double down because it's here for a limited time only. So damn well that I'm going to stop by KFC and get myself a chicken sandwich. You want to join me?
As interesting as that sounds, I'm going to be busy this weekend, Kidder. So
it's not right now because now it's not out and KFC's closed right now, dude. It's past our bedtime. Come on.
Oh, listen, it is past our bedtime. I'm trying to function. I'm also trying to figure out how this stupid model goes together.
It's like a conjunction junction. What's your function? Just make it happen. Speaking of things happening, and you know how much I love whiskey, and this is kind of a tragedy to me. And I say that it's a tragedy because it involves whiskey. Now, you know that you and I haven't exactly had rewarding experiences with Jack Daniel's brands. Well, as we take a trip to Lincoln County, Tennessee, the Jack Daniel's building project is on hold because, well, there's a plague of whiskey fungus caused by escaping alcohol vapors. What does that mean? Well, this nearby resident is claiming her property is coated in fungus that looks like a black crust. Okay. Her lawyer says that it's a growing issue for people in the area. Well, okay. What exactly is it? Well, apparently it's a fungus that consumes ethanol fumes, and it grows on surfaces near bakeries and distilleries. So they've called it whiskey fungus. This apparently is developing near several Jack Daniel's warehouses, including one under construction, where this invading fungus is requiring this resident to spend thousands on power washing. Must be some expensive water and expensive power washing. So this individual is also suing the local county zoning office, saying it did not properly approve permits for the Jack Daniel's warehouses. There are other locals who are infuriated with the situation and calling for Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey, owned by Louisville-based company Brown-Forman, to install air filters to clean up the problem. According to information from one of the attorneys, we have also somewhat talked about this. The Angel's Share. Howard, you know what that is, right? It's the evaporation process involved in the distilling. So the Angel's Share ends up evaporating out of the casks, right? Goes up into the atmosphere. Well, there's a darker side to the Angel's Share, and that, well, is the devil's fungus. Goes into the atmosphere, it evaporates, but then happens to touch surrounding surfaces, and then the fungus is among us. I don't know. It seems a little bit out of ordinary, out of proportion, perhaps. According to Jack Daniel's Distillery, they're going to comply with regulations and industry standards regarding design, construction, and permitting of their barrel houses in Lincoln County. They've been there since 1866 in Moore County, which is the neighboring county of Lincoln County in Tennessee. So they are a Tennessee whiskey. Now, here's the actual fungus. Badonia compnesensis. It's probably more French than that because it's named after the director of the French Distillers Association that discovered it growing near cognac distilleries in the 1870s. Other complaints and lawsuits have been formulated and have developed from Scotland to Canada and the Caribbean. In fact, federal agents in Tennessee used to look for the fungus as a sign that moonshining was happening or being made nearby. So there's that. How do you feel about these ginormous claims over the Angel's Share creating the fungus?
It's interesting, Kidder. I'm kind of actually hearing about it, so,
Mm-hmm. Kind of bizarre.
It really is. Really is.
Who knew that the nectar of the gods could create a sack fungus?
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. You learned something with the Triple B.
Yeah.
Kidder's Classroom. No, we don't need another segment.
Kidder.
Department's on strike.
Kidder, here's a fun one. So I've been working, as people know, I've been sitting here assembling miniatures now for weeks, trying to complete all of my Bones 5 set, getting it prepped and put together and all of that.
It'd work better if you didn't glue yourself to the pieces or to yourself, but go on.
But that'd be far more disappointing. Kidder, here's the interesting thing. So I'm not the only one in this hobby. There's a lot of people who are in the whole kind of crafting tabletop hobby. And I've had to laugh. I've been watching in one of the groups I follow. It's the Tabletop Crafters Guild. There has been like a civil war going on because apparently some people were spamming a lot of pictures of their painted miniatures. And so the admins of the group said, you know what? No more pictures of painted miniatures. It's not really crafting. It's like painting your basement or your garage.
Wow.
Yeah, and it set off a firestorm of people being upset and all of that. And So it just interesting. They have walked back some of that language and such. So it's interesting. I'll keep watching and see if there's any more developments. But yeah, I had to laugh that it's sometimes funny how people who are in the same hobby as me, that I find so much peace and relaxation, can get so fired up over little itty bits of piece of plastic. So, but Kidder, I have something that's more in your wheelhouse.
You already showed me the wheel. It's got spikes.
Yeah. This is jumping from my hobbies to more of yours. At least these days, Kidder. I have discovered a new video game, and it's one that I think you're interested in, and it's one you could play on the Xbox One. Kidder, have you heard of this game? And it is called, and I'll put it up, a graphic for the audience, but for Kidder, a couple episodes ago, we talked about Myths of the Autobahn. Did you know that there's a game out there called Autobahn Police Simulator 3, where you can be a police officer enforcing the laws of the Autobahn?
You know, it's funny because I actually did. And I looked at the screenshots and went, I don't even want to waste the download data that I don't, pay for individually. Just
well, on that failed attempt at trying to get a bigger reaction out of Kidder, we've been talking for quite a while, and it's way past our bedtimes, and I have to watch some kids tomorrow, so it's probably time that we wrap this show up and do that in the traditional manner of our homeland, the cheap plug.
Oh, all right. Well, let's just glaze through them. Let's roll on it like we're in the Autobahn, driving way too fast. Go online our website, beerbluesbs.com, beerbluesbs.com. One beer, multiple blues, lots of BS.com. Easy way to search. Plus, we're online. And you know what? You'll find us by seeing this classy logo on your screen, Beer, Blues, and BS, right there. While you're looking at the website, couple things to note. First of all, the merch store. Lots of designs, like Kidder's perfect old-fashioned and approved by me, the Mark Kidder. Also, I will have a water with hops and grain. There it is. My mug on a mug with the Triple B logo on the back. Aside from that, well, we have shirts and sweatshirts and shower curtains with Big D on them and many other things. Beerbluesbs.com. Click on merch. Also, while you're there, drop by the Buy Us a Beer section. You, if you so choose, can buy us a beer, buy us a round. Just, go to there, click the info, type in your amount that you would like to purchase for us, because sharing is caring. Type a message in, we'll share it on the screen here. It's as easy as that, and we thank you in advance for buying us a beer at beerbluesbs.com. Also, on our website, you can listen to all the audio versions of our podcast. They're all there, historically and chronologically organized for you, because we care. Also, a link to our YouTube page, youtube.com/beerbluesbs. A link to our Facebook page, facebook.com/beerbluesbs. Even our Instagram, search beerbluesbs. Or just go to instagram.com/beerbluesbs. In fact, on any of the platforms for audio, video, social media, just search Beer Blues BS. Please subscribe. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Sharing is caring, and even tag us. We'd love to hear what you have to say about our episodes and the topics we discuss. Share it with us because we can talk about them on a future episode as well. BeerBluesBS.com. While you're on Facebook or Instagram, throw us a like. Throw us a follow. We'd appreciate that. Same thing with YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the video version and you get our updates and our videos and episodes whenever they come out. Typically Fridays, that's when the main episodes are released, but we do them in their wrestling reviews and other things here and there and whenever we feel like it. They're all available everywhere. BeerBluesBS.com. If you're an audio listener and you want to just listen to this show because you're on the go, you can do that as well on every audio platform that's out there, including newly added the YouTube podcasts. Yeah, we're there too now. So we're everywhere. All over the place. It's almost ridiculous, but we're everywhere. So it's iHeartRadio, Pandora, Stitcher, TuneIn, IMDb, Player FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and Podbean. Search on your app store or perhaps the app itself, like Spotify, Beer, Blues, and BS. And please subscribe for free. So, I think we've sold ourselves out for enough. If you buy in, we do appreciate it. And, it helps us keep this thing going for the future. So, aside from all the cheap plugs, I think that's about it for this new episode of Beer, Blues, and BS. He's Howard Blues. I'm Mark Kidder. Thanks for joining us for this and every edition of Beer, Blues, and BS. Remember to keep your glass at least half full. There's free beer tomorrow. And we'll catch you down that snow-filled Tuscan highway. Have a good one. And again, thank you for joining us for this and every episode of Beer, Blues, and BS.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty. UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.
I am ready if you are, good sir.
Is that better?
Nope, you are still pixelated.
Well,
I don't get it. I don't know why Google's picking on you.
yeah, I don't know either. Because it's also, I even rebooted my router right before I joined, just to make sure that, it wasn't the network causing issues. Although I know it's not the network because my connectivity is good, where I get 750 megs down and like 70 up. In fact, if I do a speed test,
There. For a few seconds. But actually now you're looking pretty good.
so I'm doing my speed test through Midco's website, and I'm getting about 520 down. But there's jitter, and there shouldn't be any jitter.
Maybe you tell your midco to cut back on the coffee.
Yeah, and my upload's around 60 megs at the moment. 45 to 60. And that's through the Aberdeen midco. So if I come up here to regular speed test through North Dakota ITD, I'm getting 550 down, 588, 595, okay, and about 50 up. So that's disappointing that it's being stupid.
Yeah, right now you're looking good. Like it's like as soon as you started like speed testing, it's like it went, oh, somebody's checking on us.
Yeah.
better move that up a little bit.